I just punched Prince G of the Beijing entertainment industry, and the video immediately went straight to the hot news. Not long after, a small green tea came up enthusiastically, forcing his parents to help me. Why is your character so bad? Probably thinking that people are noble so they don't care. Am I right? But the next moment, his mother coldly replied, "Don't TC me in, he's not my child." Green tea freezes. His father is not bad either. After beating your husband and children, please forgive me. Netizens, drama is at its peak. Tran. SOS. SOS. I, Tan Lu, am known as the most hated female star in the history of the entertainment industry. According to a famous paparazzi, as of last month, my Antian count has reached 9 digits, breaking the world record. But sadly, the ranking I'm at the top of is the blacklist, not the red list. Not stopping there, netizens continued to expose me with increasingly ridiculous charges. Not helping an old woman cross the street is inhumane. Not giving way to a small dog on a white line is even more of a crime. And when the video of me punching Prince G away in the Beijing entertainment industry was revealed, things immediately became irreparable. This morning, the video of me physically impacting Chu Then Can, the most powerful guy in the entertainment world, went straight to the top of the hot spots. Ms. Truong, my manager, quickly called as if demanding her life. "Qin Lulu, are you crazy? How dare you hit someone in broad daylight?" Before I could react, she let go of the guy like a sellout. "How are you teaching me? A dark night with strong winds, no cameras, and no witnesses is the right time to commit a crime. Don't you know how to choose the right moment?" I questioned. "I can't stand it when you give me a lesson." Ding dong. Before I could digest her words, I saw the latest message sent to Ms. Truong. "Still not giving up. After all, I'm the hottest artist under you. Every year, I bring her countless profits, making many people blush. Tan Lu, look closely. Does the person in the video look like your lost sister?" I opened G, watched the video, and saw myself punching and kicking Chu Then Can, my cheeks bulging, my mouth open as if I wanted to say something. In just a few minutes, the number of video shares exceeded 1 million. Comments are also more than million. My Annians were extremely excited, frantically commenting. I fainted. Tan Lu dug his own grave. Does she dare to touch the Crown Prince of Beijing? That is the only male god in my heart. Okay, I wait to see how she dies. I hate Vixen like her the most. Finally, the day came when Tan Lu tripped over this huge rock. Who gave her the courage to touch the prince's family? So this time she definitely won't be able to dance for long. Tan Lu is a play on the character's name Tan Lu, implying that she is about to expire. However, there are still some comments that differ from the majority. But it seems to me that the Crown Prince doesn't dare to fight back, right? But not many people pay attention to this comment. Very quickly, it was submerged. In just an hour after the video was uploaded, its temperature continued to rise. As soon as I clicked refresh, it climbed straight to the #1 hot spot. Many artists also came out and said vague things that seemed to imply that my dignity was bad. Among them, the one who danced the best was Tavu Nu, a genuine green tea girl and my rival since debut. She takes on leading roles and often acts in short films. Thanks to that, he has accumulated a large number of fans. This time she probably wanted my coffee to attract more fans. Not only did she write a long post that mocked me, but she also immediately activated the official account of the Crown Prince's family and called his parents directly. I always think that the people around me are well educated and have good dignity. I have never seen such a bad artist, truly embarrassing the entertainment industry. But now that I think about it, she dared to hit someone in the middle of the street like that. Maybe she thought the other person's family was generous, so she didn't bother, right? I value fairness, so I strongly recommend removing those who defame the entertainment industry from this industry. In the comments section, netizens. Con. She has a super standard three-dimensional view, as pure as a lotus growing from mud, helping her earn countless neutral fans. There is a lot of discussion online. As for me, I calmly woke up, put on my slippers, and went to wash my face. From the phone came the languid voice of Ms. Truong, my manager. "Little ancestor, why aren't you worried about anything? If you offend Chu Then Can, your life will be over." Ms. Truong is a very calculating person, always has a plan ready. It's rare to see her so pessimistic. Seeing that, I suddenly felt a bit helpless, so I comforted her. "Ms. Truong, maybe things aren't as bad as you think. After all, It was just a fight against Chu Than Can. From childhood to adulthood, he was beaten by me countless times. Maybe, if I hadn't beaten him, he would still feel lacking. But before I could finish my sentence, Ms. Truong excitedly interrupted. Not bad, what's not bad? Look, everyone from A-list to C-list stars have spoken out online. Only the Chu family hasn't had time to deal with me yet. The more Ms. Truong spoke, the more depressed she became. Finally, there is a desperate suggestion. Where should I turn myself in? Sometimes going to the police station can still save your life. Anyway, the Chu family can't go all the way there to find you and cause trouble. Reluctantly, the next generation, that is, my father and Chu Than Can's father, refused to learn martial arts. My grandfather looked at my father every day and sighed. But grandfather Chu, needless to say, felt extremely uncomfortable looking at his son, so he always scrutinized every detail. It wasn't until I was 3 years old that my grandfather accidentally discovered that I had a talent for martial arts. At that moment, my father and Chu's father breathed a sigh of relief, finally no longer having to endure the assassination eyes of the two old men. From then on, I became a treasure in the hearts of both Zhou families. Qin's usual scene is above the Nam Sun nursing home, under the stone-back high kindergarten. All the adults in both houses have become my practice partners. It can be said without hesitation that my entire family was beaten by me from childhood until adulthood. This video is no different from normal practice sessions like any other time. I just don't know which paparazzi secretly filmed it and posted it online. It was passed back and forth, but in the end it turned into me assaulting Chu Than Can. This is truly ridiculous. I sighed, intending to explain a little to Ms. Truong, but before I could open my mouth, her tone changed and her spirit brightened. Dear baby, I just received the latest news. The Crown Prince is about to participate in an outdoor survival reality show. I quickly signed up for you. You must remember to know that, of course, the attitude of admitting mistakes must be there. You must treat him with respect as an ancestor. He told you to go east. You absolutely must not go west. He told you to chase the dogs. You absolutely must not steal chickens. Coax him a little. Maybe he will leave. I've already booked a ticket for you. Pack your bags and leave now. Before I could say no, the call was hung up. Looking at the phone in bewilderment, I immediately called back, but the phone was turned off. At least give me some time to explain. I was pulled into the car by the little assistant arranged by Ms. Truong in an extremely unwilling mood. Arriving at the filming location, as soon as I got off the bus, I immediately discovered that Tavu Nu was also participating in this program. What bad luck. I immediately turned around to leave, but she was faster than me. In a flash, she was standing right in front of me, her face serious. She said, Tin Lu Lu, have you finally appeared? The scariest person is not because they did something wrong, but because they didn't realize they did something wrong. At this time, the program was officially broadcast live. Before I arrived, the atmosphere was still quite gloomy. But as soon as I appeared, the comment stream immediately scrolled like a flash flood. I took a look, and out of 10 sentences, 9.5 sentences were cursing at me. The number of livestream viewers is constantly increasing. Tavu Nu's heart was as happy as opening a flag, but on the outside he still tried to suppress his joy, continuing to act like a righteous man. Finally, she sums up. So you should publicly apologize to Senior Chu right here. The comments scolding me became less frequent, replaced by a series of compliments for Tavu Nu. Oh my God, Vu Nu has so much integrity. She dares to publicly criticize Tin Lu Lu. She's so great, I'm officially a fan. A simple and straightforward personality like this is very rare these days. Looking at the number of people following him skyrocketing, Tavu Nu was so proud that he continued to question me. Qin Lu Lu, have you realized your mistake in using violence to assault your senior? The sun gradually rose. The 38-degree heat made me unbearably frustrated. What's more, there's also an ignorant idiot running around next to him. I smiled coldly and directly tore off her fake mask. Where did the stray dog block the road like this? If you want to pee, go over to the electric pole over there and solve it. Tavu Nu's face immediately turned gray. If you refuse to cooperate, don't blame me for having to use strong measures. I really can't let you continue to tarnish the reputation of the entertainment industry anymore. Tavu Nu's words immediately sparked a new wave in the live stream room. Since entering SASD, She has always built the image of a country girl who rose from adversity and was upright and upright. Exciting comments. Good job, Vunu. I applaud you and cheer you on. Don't be afraid of Tan Lulu. We are your solid support. Vunu is an example for ordinary people like us. No matter how difficult life is, never lose the principles of being human. I smirked, pushed her aside, and walked into the cool, air-conditioned hall. My whole body immediately relaxed. If you have the guts, then take action. If not, then keep your mouth shut. Your family's crown prince hasn't said anything yet. Who are you to dare to speak up and teach people? You're just setting up a small white willow flower to be the big brother of the world. Vunu's face turned red. She quickly chased after me, her voice full of excitement. Akin hasn't had time to speak yet, but that doesn't mean the people around him can let you do whatever you want. His status is noble, so he doesn't want to attack you for now, but I'm different. I can't let Akin suffer like that. Just wait, don't let me catch your weakness. Akin, I frowned. Kin has been by my side from childhood to adulthood. I know all of his friends. There is no one I don't know, but if someone like Vunu appeared in his circle of friends, he would definitely. Having been beaten by me to the point where I didn't even recognize who I was, there was no way I wouldn't be impressed. I curled my lips and called out in such a friendly way. Can, do you have permission? Vunu's face turned slightly red, a little embarrassed, but she still held her head high, puffed out her chest, and said, Akin, the person I know will not accept these small things. She smiled meaningfully, neither admitting nor denying. I raised my eyebrows. So, are you an acquaintance? I observed her from top to bottom, slowly said, As far as I know, Kin has never been close to any woman. How do you know him so well? Hearing that, Vunu's eyes flashed with pride, but then he deliberately hid it. She pouted and turned to face the camera. I originally didn't intend to make my relationship with Akin public. My fans all know that I am always a simple and straightforward person. I grew up in the countryside and suffered a lot of injustice, but I never lost my human principles. The live stream room was silent for a moment, then exploded as if it had been bombed. My family Vunu is in love, otherwise it's fine. Once you're in love, you have to love someone of Vunu's caliber. When will you and the crown prince get married? Are you planning on having a boy or a girl? Do you need to hire a nanny? Some female fans shed tears of joy. Sisters, my belief was finally right. Every hardworking girl will meet the prince of her life. Vunu reacted violently when Tan Lulu beat the crown prince, who turned out to be her future husband. The crown prince is truly lucky to have a caring girlfriend like Vunu. Then Tan Lulu is truly shameless. Crown Prince Jia quickly deal with her. Ladies, hurry up and cuff the prince as much as possible. We must let him know how much pain our Vunu has endured because of him. I looked at Vunu's strong face, smiled as if not smiling, and said, half-hearted things are not a good habit. If you don't say it clearly, who knows what relationship you have with Can. The Chu family is so big, even the janitor who cleans the toilet can be considered to have a relationship with him. I looked straight into her eyes and slowly asked, or do you just want to incite the fans in the live stream to come out and help you? Vunu's eyes wavered slightly, seemingly guilty but still angrily replied, Who said I spoke half-heartedly? I'm Akin's junior. We go to the same school. The hot search rankings change every second. Soon, the news that Tan Lulu assaulted the crown prince of the Beijing entertainment industry fell from the top trending, replaced by a series of new topics. Tang Vunu publicly announces his love story. Tang Vunu dated the crown prince of Beijing. Real-life Cinderella story. The most beautiful school love couple. In just a moment, these hashtags took over the top 1, 2, 3, and 4 positions on the search rankings. After all, Can only needs to participate in one movie to immediately win the throne, with billions of assets behind him. He himself is already a name that attracts attention. Don't say he's human. Even a piece of feces stuck to him can make him hot. At this time, the remaining guests had also arrived, including 2 female and 2 male guests who were just standing at a distance, clearly not intending to interfere in this matter. Vunu looked friendly, smiled, and greeted the only female guest here. You are Zhao Zhao, right? I often watch your short films on Douyin. You act very well, not inferior to a professional actor. Hearing that, Lunak Zhao smiled proudly. Oh my God, it's not like that. I had to work very hard to achieve today's achievements. Tavu Nu pulled her hand and smiled meaningfully. I understand. Coming from the same background as her, Lunak Zhao immediately felt close, so he asked curiously, I heard someone say something just now. What's going on? Tavu Nu pretended to be miserable and sighed. It's nothing. I just want to advise Ten Lu to apologize to Akan. Anyway, I'm very sad for him. Lunak Zhao clearly knew about this from before. Upon hearing that, he immediately looked at me with eyes full of contempt. I hate the most people with bad morals who still dare to beat others for no reason like that. She narrowed her eyes and spoke harshly. If my boyfriend is bullied like that, I absolutely will not let it go easily. I will at least have to fight again to relieve my anger. I looked at her innocent and stupid appearance. The corner of my mouth slowly raised. Is your mother sure she gave birth to a child when she gave birth? Or did she just give birth to a placenta? How stupid. Even your good sisters don't dare to admit that Chu Then Kan is her boyfriend, but you dare to follow along and confirm it for her. Lunak Zhao was so angry that his eyes burned. Before she could say anything, Tavu Nu pulled her hand back, then softly said, Zhao, don't be angry anymore. You know that. I really don't want to rely on my relationship with Akan to get ahead. When Lunak Zhao heard that, he coldly snorted. Vu Nu, you are truly the most honest person on earth. At this moment, the assistant director stepped forward, looking at Tavu Nu as if he were seeing a golden mountain. In fact, initially, this show was not a wild survival show, but a dating show. However, the dating show was too expensive. The director couldn't gather enough money to invest, so he had to switch to the theme of survival. A few days ago, the director even sighed that he had to find help. Yesterday, he entrusted everything to the deputy director and instructed him to pick up an important person today, and especially emphasized that he needed to treat this female guest well. As soon as the deputy director got out of the car, he heard Tavu Nu's words and was immediately so excited that he almost tore his pants. He quickly ran over with long strides. Surely this was the female guest that the director told him to treat attentively. The Crown Prince's girlfriend. Isn't this the Golden Mountain and Silver Mountain? He hit it so well. Even he didn't hear anything about it at all. The deputy director stroked his chin and pondered. The director may not have invited that important character, but right in front of him there is a money-making tree. If he could lure the Crown Prince here, wouldn't he be even better than that distinguished guest? If the director knew, he would definitely praise the assistant director as a genius. Thinking of this, the assistant director immediately looked enthusiastic and quickly ran up to please Tavu Nu. Vu Nu, welcome to our wild survival program. He also did not forget to turn to the others, showing enthusiasm. Welcome all the guests too. Everyone has worked hard. Tavu Nu opened her mouth slightly in surprise, not understanding why the deputy director was so enthusiastic towards her. But the situation was clearly in her favor, so she quickly regained her surprise and replied with a smile. Thank you. I'm honored to participate in the program. Seeing that Tavu Nu seemed to want to continue a long speech, the deputy director quickly interrupted and took the opportunity to propose his idea. Vu Nu, I heard that you and the Crown Prince of the Chu family are very close, right? No. Here, everyone hasn't seen him for a long time. He must have missed him very much. Or should you invite him to the show too? I'm afraid this is not the case. The smile on Tavu Nu's face stiffened. She reluctantly maintained her composure and tried to refuse. The deputy director smiled brightly like an old chrysanthemum. What's wrong? Don't you have a very good relationship with the Crown Prince? I also heard that you are his junior. With this relationship, this shouldn't be difficult for you, right? Using a rock to hit his own foot, Tavu Nu could only grit his teeth and nod in agreement. The deputy director, who was famous in the world as a stubborn person, appeared even more sincere at this moment, patting her shoulder with confidence. Then thanks to you. With your reputation, the Crown Prince will definitely come. I crossed my arms, leaned against the sofa, looked at Tavu Nu's face as if he was about to vomit blood, and couldn't help but laugh. Wanting to cling to Chu Then Kan's hotness is not that easy. I also want to see how Tavu Nu plans to contact him. Everyone in the living room turned their eyes towards her. Tavu Nu stiffly received the phone call from the program staff. Opening the phone book, I curiously stretched my neck to see who she was going to find to save the situation. At this moment, The sound of a car was heard in the distance. Looking up, it turned out to be director Luke Tam's car. He wore glasses and stepped out of the passenger seat with a carefree look. "Hello, handsome and beautiful brothers and sisters. Everyone is waiting for our mystery guest." Everyone's attention was immediately attracted, and Tavunu silently breathed a sigh of relief. Luke Tam waved his black hair in front of his forehead, looking a bit shiny, expressing regret. What a pity, the mysterious guest can't come today. In the crowd, the most shocked person was the assistant director. His heart felt like it was falling into an ice cellar. "Old Luke, what are you doing? We invested tens of millions, and it just went away." Luke Tam took off his sunglasses, stroked his face and shiny hair. "Don't worry, I've already got the investment money." He absent-mindedly glanced at me and continued, "Actually, I can't blame me for this. He's not trustworthy at all." Then on the way, he told me he had to go home and take care of the kids. His wife didn't hit him out of respect for the kids. The deputy director heard that the investment money had been received, so he was no longer in the mood to worry about that mysterious guest. He waved his hand and acted like a real scum man. "Forget it. It's okay if people don't come. As long as you have money, it's okay. Anyway, we have enough people to film the show." Having finished speaking, he turned around and found Tavunu standing quietly at the end of the row, still with the smile of an old wolf. He asked, "Vunu, how about the crown prince? When will he come so I can send someone to pick him up?" Tavunu was so scared that her face turned pale. She originally thought this matter had been covered up. Unexpectedly, the deputy director did not play according to the usual script. I couldn't help but laugh. "Deputy director, what are you planning to do?" Vunu is afraid of death or something. Look how pale her face is. Tavunu quickly adjusted her expression and tried to appear calm. Reluctantly responded to the assistant director. Ken is very busy with a lot of work, probably doesn't have time to come. As you know, his company is that big." Director Luke Tam's phone rang again. He angrily opened the phone, but as soon as he saw the name displayed on the screen, his attitude immediately changed. Docile as a small puppy, not knowing what the other end of the line was saying, but only seeing on the live stream, Luke Tam's head kept nodding and his mouth hummed, "Yes," continuously. After hanging up, he turned to look at me with a cunning smile. "Lulu." I coldly glanced at him. You dare to call me that? This guy has grown up with Chuthinkin since he was a child, and the day he was born, he had to call me sister. Now you want to keep playing the upper hand with me? You don't even consider whether you have any qualifications." Luke Tam couldn't act anymore, so he smiled to please. "Miss Lu, the show will depend on you later." My arrogant attitude made the anti-fans in the live stream blush. What kind of attitude is that? Do you dare to be cold towards investors? With this obnoxious personality, people in the world are not afraid of being beaten by the council. Well, guess what? I'm sure I can cling to her boss. Otherwise, how would you dare to have such a tough attitude, even dare to hit the crown prince, and then glare at the director? If that tycoon wasn't in the top 10 billionaires, she probably wouldn't be that bold. The rational audience began to feel that something was wrong, but there was still a group of blind fans trying to protect their green tea. The director just didn't want the show to get into trouble. Obviously, she wanted to keep the peace, but she still had the upper hand. That's right, before she beat the crown prince. But now she doesn't respect the director, proving that Vunu was not wrong in cursing her before. This type of person has poor character, but why haven't the official accounts of the Chu family and the crown prince's parents responded? Sisters, maybe the crown prince's parents haven't seen it yet. Quickly share Vunu's article again. Let them join in and agree. Maybe they haven't seen it yet. You have to help Vunu write it many times. The director went to pick up the mysterious guest again. While there was nothing to watch during the live stream, netizens all flocked to visit Chu then Kan's parents. Tavunu's face became increasingly pale. Her dazed state made netizens begin to suspect. I laughed coldly. I guess I'm just now realizing I'm scared, right? What an idiot. Don't you see that everyone else is secretly smiling? Only Tavunu has no brain. Because he wants to stick to the movie, he dares to openly confront me. Hurry, the prince's parents have already responded. Oh my god, drama is super huge. A netizen shouted, dragging two fans in the live stream to Weibo to wait. On Weibo, two articles are immediately climbing to the top trends. The crown prince's mother. Don't bother me anymore. My son was not born from me. It's okay for the crown prince's father to beat your husband. Just don't beat him. What do his parents mean? Is the crown princess really Tan Lulu? Hong. Everyone looked closely and felt that this pug looked a bit familiar. Netizens with superior information retrieval skills quickly noticed. Wait, isn't this the pimp who helped Tan Lulu cross the street? He even made headlines with her. Chin Lulu is dead. Looking at this appearance, it seems that this pug is not the right type. As soon as I got out of the car, the little puppy smelled a familiar scent and immediately rushed to curl up next to my feet, moaning softly. Yes, long time no see. I miss you a little. This kid here. A netizen quietly posted a comment. Huh? Why is this bitch acting so familiar? Could it be that it belongs to Chin Lulu? So why doesn't Tan Lulu give way to this pawn? Because it is my pet, right? At this moment, netizens feel like they just slapped themselves in the face. Wife, I brought my son here. Appearing in front of the camera is the character who once made me hot, the crown prince of the Beijing world, Zhou Xinjin. Netizens in the live stream simultaneously exploded. I saw the god of war in flesh and blood. My crown prince. He just called me wife. Buoy Trake, the person I love the most. I'm crying. I didn't expect to see my god of war again in this life. It's not a waste of what I said before so enthusiastically cursing Tan Lulu. Buoy Trake is the only character. Chu Thinkin once acted in a movie. When the movie reached its peak of popularity, he suddenly left the entertainment world, becoming the image of Bok Noyet Kwong, the bright moon in the hearts of many people. Chu Thinkin strode in front of me, picked up the little poodle sitting on my feet, and warned his son. Brother Tai, stop clinging to Lulu. This is Dad's wife. If you want to cling, go find your wife. Next to him, Lunak Zhao was clearly shocked. She pulled Tavu Nu's hand and questioned. What's going on? Didn't you say the crown prince is your boyfriend? Why does he call Chin Lulu his wife? From the beginning, Lunak Zhao sided with Tavu Nu. If Tavu Nu deceived her, Tan Lulu would be the crown prince's man. Then thinking about this, she was so angry that she gritted her teeth, tightened her grip on Tavu Nu's arm, and used 3 more points of force. Tavu Nu took a deep breath in pain. Her face continuously changed, but in the end she could only reluctantly remove Lu Nok Jiao's hand and sighed softly. Nok Jiao, you misunderstood. I only said I was Crown Prince Jia's junior. I never said I was his girlfriend. Don't misunderstand and spread false information anymore. Lu Nok Jiao's face immediately looked as if he had just swallowed something very disgusting. She immediately turned around. You lied. Did you think I didn't know you only studied up to intermediate school? You study in the same school as Crown Prince Jia? Lu Nok Jiao said a guy is as fast as a bullet. It's true that I'm confused. I was deceived by you to this extent, and because of you, I misunderstood Tan Lulu. I deserve to die. Saying this, her voice became confused. Her eyes looked at me with a bit of guilt. I secretly smiled coldly. I really cannot underestimate any woman in the entertainment industry. But in just a few sentences, she was able to turn the situation around, erase her relationship with Tavu Nu and have her past exposed. Tavu Nu's face was slightly distorted, but everyone knew that she was only in middle school, and she couldn't go crazy right away. So she could only pretend to feel sorry for herself, looking at Lu Nok Jiao with painful eyes. Nok Jiao, I know my education level is not high, so over the years I have tried my best to compensate and improve myself, but I never lie. I'm actually the Crown Prince's junior. Netizens, who had just been shaken by Lu Nok Jiao, now heard Tavu Nu's firm assertion. Lu Nok Jiao curled his lips and smiled coldly. So tell me, how did you become the Crown Prince's junior? Is there any evidence? Is it okay if you just say the right thing? Tavu Nu stared at Lu Nok Jiao full of resentment, biting her lip. I studied in kindergarten at the imperial capital's Handan Noble Academy. Crown Prince Jia also studied there. So I'm his junior. She nodded vigorously, as if confirming it was true. Is that so? That's all. When I was little, I even pretended to be the Crown Prince's fiancé. I even have a photo taken with him. All guests, staff and netizens in the live stream were dumbfounded. What kind of dumb logic is this? Just because we went to kindergarten together, can we be called someone's younger sister? After a few seconds of silence, the live stream room exploded. Oh, I'm blind. What did I say before? What about protecting Vu Nu? I want to vomit. The above person, stop talking. I also want to vomit listening to this. It feels like I'm holding a turtle in my arms. So it's really a small butt-cutting knife. It's really an eye-opener. As expected, as Tan Lu said before, even the cleaning lady can cling to the crown prince. Lu Nok Jiao opened his mouth, not knowing what to say. Apparently, she was also so shaken that she was dizzy, always in a blur. Under the pressure of everyone's criticism, only Chu then can remain calm. He coldly and clearly pointed out, "You said it wrong. I never attended kindergarten at Handan Noble School in the imperial capital. Therefore, what you just said can be completely refuted." This assertion caused the whole network to explode. Comments flooded the screen. So the person who lied, "You have low quality," is Tavu Nu? Tavu Nu was angry but could not refute. "Then I hope you all meet men with sweet mouths but rotten hearts in the future." Regardless, someone finally stood up to help her. Tavu Nu quietly breathed a sigh of relief and continued to add, "When I was young, I actually took a photo with the crown prince, but otherwise, I wouldn't have dared to say those words." Having finished speaking, she took the phone from the program staff, opened the photo album, and held up the lens. "Everyone, look, this is a photo I found from an old album and took a photo. I kept it carefully for a long time, but I couldn't avoid the ravages of time. The photo has turned yellow," Tavu Nu said with a sad expression. Seeing this, netizens felt even more sympathy for her. The attacks gradually subsided, replaced by a series of sighs. You can't really blame Nu. She's too loyal, but she still remembers the boy she liked when she was little. But the moment I saw the photo, my body stiffened. I slowly turned to look at Luke Tam and Chu Then Can. Both tried to force a forced smile. No one could have expected the person in the photo. Even I couldn't have guessed before seeing it. As a child, I really liked practicing martial arts, right? For convenience and practice, before I was 7 years old, I always had a crew cut, which was not only easy to wash, but also very cool. One time I saw Luke Tam going to kindergarten very happily, so I followed him once. In kindergarten, the kids couldn't beat me. At that time, I thought that the name Tan Lu was a girl at first glance, so it would definitely make others dissatisfied. So I'm extremely smart, borrow a name. When any child asks, I immediately say my name is Chu Then Can. But at that time I did not expect that just one idle word would create such a cruel fate. That's right, the person in that photo is me. No one would have guessed it, right? Luke Tam and Chu Then Can also recognized the person in the photo as me. Netizens also began to find clues. Wait, why does this photo look so familiar? Why does this crew cut look more and more like Tan Lu? So netizens immediately looked up childhood photos of famous stars. Haha, I'm dying of laughter. Tavu Nu wanted to follow the crown prince's family to become famous, but the result was that the crown prince was actually a fake Tan Lu. I don't know how else to describe this feeling. Guangzhou netizens raised their hands. I know. It's like eating an enemy's son and still having to lick it. The truth was exposed. Tavu Nu cried and looked at me. How could you do that? Why did you mess with my feelings like that? Seeing her look at me like this gave me goosebumps. Chu Then Can was not happy, pulled me behind, and said coldly, "Without discussing what this photo is like, let's go back to the original topic. You said you're my junior, but you're so old you must understand that that argument is unfounded." I immediately added, "That's right. Usually we only consider relationships between seniors and juniors from elementary school up. Furthermore, I've only met you once." Finally, Chu Then Can concluded with one sentence, ending everything. To put it bluntly, you are just borrowing this photo to gain fame. Once exposed, you will continue to pretend to be pitiful to ask for forgiveness. Netizens suddenly woke up. At this moment, the deputy director impatiently stood up. Okay, it's time to film the show. I would like to introduce the guests. Everyone looks at Tai Xie, who is angry. I smiled and hugged him up. This is my shameless son, Tai Xie. The variety show officially entered the filming process, and Zhou Qinjin insisted that we be a family of 3 in one group. Finally, the groups are divided into 3 teams. I, Chu Then Can and Tai Xie are a group. Lu Nok Jiao and No Suang are a group. The most unlucky part is that in the first chapter Duong is divided with Tavu Nu. The program team is not so inhumane as to let people actually survive on a deserted island, but to increase the program's effect, they chose a remote mountain base to film. Rules are given. Guests are not allowed to use money or exchange items with outsiders. They must survive 3 days without help from the crew, except in dire situations. After hearing this, everyone froze. Previous programs could at least exchange items or work in exchange for food. But what about this time? There's nothing at all. The crew just shrugged. This really fits the theme of survival in the wild. Then when everyone arrived at the filming location, everyone was dumbfounded. The program only provides some basic tools such as shovels, knives, cooking pots, insect, and snake repellent powder. There isn't even a place to stay. The other two groups had black faces, while netizens were excited. This is the true meaning of survival. It's been 6 days, haha. I don't know how Tavu Nu will survive, but I don't want to take my eyes off that Tan Lulu. I love watching her set up her tent. Tavu Nu was stunned for half an hour. As for Truong not Duong, he is trying to endure it. It seems like he is about to explode. Meanwhile, I quickly cut down trees and built a house in just 1 hour. The tent frame was completed, and Chu then found large banana leaves and tree bark for the roof. After 2 hours, our tent was finished and the kitchen was also set up. Even dug drainage ditches and garbage, insect repellent. After finishing, I dragged Chu then Can and Tai Xie to look for food. We found some bananas in the nearby banana forest, but just eating bananas is not enough. So the whole group went to a stream and picked some wild vegetables like waterweed and purslane. Tai Xie also couldn't just sit idle. I pushed him to look for meat, but with his short legs, he hunted all day and could only hunt one rabbit. However, Hong, the rabbit is quite fat, enough to cook a delicious meal. When we returned, we checked the progress of the other groups to see how it was progressing. Lu Nok Jiao's group set up a tent according to our model, but it looked quite crooked. Tavu Nu's group didn't have enough to cover the tent frame before it tilted, and she was screaming all day. Netizens watched and got angry. Tavu Nu says she's very strong, but without relationships, she probably wouldn't be able to eat anymore. I love Tan Lulu's group so much, I didn't expect her to be so good. Watching Tavu Nu get angry, it's both useless and annoying. In the end, Tavu Nu's group could not set up a tent and had to find a small ladder to sleep overnight. Their food only contained wild vegetables, and they didn't know how to prepare them, so when she ate a bite, she immediately vomited. Lu Nok Jiao was still resentful about being taken advantage of by Tavu Nu, so I took this opportunity to tease. Oh my god, why are you wasting food like that? This type of vegetable costs $10 a kilo in the supermarket. In the next few days, every time he finished working, Lu Nok Jiao ran to Tavu Nu's group to pay attention. Truong Xie is looking for firewood and vegetables, but you can't even light a fire? Look, are my bananas delicious? I worked with Tan Lulu, but you don't know how to do anything, and you vomit no matter what you eat. Netizens burst into laughter. Lu Nok Jiao is so cute, just like a kitten holding a fish to show off in front of a big dog. Hey, why are there so few scenes of Tan Lulu? Go back to her group, otherwise I'll be your ass to Mr. Tan. The comment line comes from an account that appears to be from the Chin family. Netizens smell drama again. Wait, who else is this old man? So is there anything more mysterious? The deputy director saw netizens starting to dig again and wanted to cry. It's just a variety show, so why are they so careless? Finally, after 3 days, Tavu Nu was skinny and pale. Originally, she relied on her beauty to attract fans, but after this episode, she immediately lost all her aura, causing many people to turn away and unfollow her. Not only that, they also went online to criticize the program. The deputy director angrily scratched his head and asked Tavu Nu, "Do you still dare to cling to fame in the future? It's all because of her causing trouble." Many people are still discussing the identity of the old man of the Chin family. I almost pulled out his secondary account at a hair transplant clinic. Too fast, too dangerous, too scary. People said it seemed like his and the assistant director's wigs were exactly the same. They were 3 short and 2 short. The deputy director clutched his heart in fear. If he was exposed, he would lose face and die. As for Tavu Nu, after those 3 days, she was so scared that there was no blood left on her face, trembling and shaking her head. No, don't dare anymore. Before she could finish her sentence, she was the one who fainted on hot search. Appearing right there, Tavu Nu is starving to death. Tavu Nu's plastic surgery story, Tavu Nu's downfall, netizens excitedly commented. In the end, Tavunu no longer needed to cling to fame and climbed into hot search himself.